Good morning everyone, welcome back to my channel. Luna says hello. Today we're going to be painting a mural for Disney. Yes, you did hear me correctly. I'm going to be painting a mural for Disney Plus and create excitement for the season 3 premiere of The Mandalorian. I haven't documented much of what's been happening up until today because this process has been really short. It's been just a week and we've just been talking and planning, but I'm going to catch you up now. Cooper is going to observe if that's okay with you. I was reached out to by an influencer company. It was a cold email. I've never talked to anyone there before. They're pretty vague in their request, but they gave me a little bit about the project and then a few important dates and then just asked if I would be able to meet those requirements. I think we need to break for this little tussle. The timeline really stressed me out because I'm in grad school, I also work part-time, and I'm already doing a painting project. I'm painting on bicycles for an upcoming charity art auction. So my first initial half-second thought was like, can I squeeze this into my schedule? Then I was like, hell yeah, The Mandalorian, I love this, let's do it. And I just emailed back and I asked for more information. In her reply, she asked for a 4 to 6 concept of a mural idea. They really wanted people to paint murals with the focus being on the Mandalorian helmet, but they wanted each artist to do their own unique style and spin on it. So I don't know about you, but I can't just like write out my idea and know that it's good or not. Like, because I'm an artist, it needs to be visual for me. So before I could even write my sentences, I needed to sketch out my idea. And again, because this was a very short deadline, I wanted to do 2 things to make this painting easier for me to do. The first was making sure that the colors were all flat. I would do no mixing and I wouldn't do any intricate detail. It would just be flat layers. And this would be sort of mimicking what I've done before. Both of these projects I did in 2 days, so that gives me confidence that this sort of style is something I can do quickly. The second thing I'm doing to help me with time is to condense the size. Mural is really vague in what it entails. Like, I've done murals that are whole walls, I've done murals that are whole rooms or entire sites of buildings, or just like portions of walls. It's really important to define what mural means, and so in my idea I said I would either do a 24 by 36 canvas, or I could do the same mural, but I thought it would look cool in a circle shape if I had to do it on a wall. Ideally, I wanted it to be on a canvas just because that creates more freedom for me. If they really needed it to be on a wall, that limits where, when, and what I can paint. I'd love to paint it where I am now on a wall, but we're gonna be moving soon, so that doesn't make sense. I don't want to paint it in the place we're going to because I also won't be there for very long. I'd like to paint it in someone's place that loves Star Wars, but most people I know don't live in places where you're allowed to paint on walls like that. The other option is just painting it on someone's wall and knowing that if they hate it, they'll just paint over it immediately. None of those options are obviously ideal, so I was hoping they would go for the canvas. In order to draw my concept, I needed to look for inspiration, and of course, when you look up anything Star Wars, it's like setting suns with silhouettes of people, or it's like faces in the sky with lightsabers. But The Mandalorian is more of like a space western feel. I do need to share that ever since I got this job like 3 days ago, I've been walking around going doo 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 doo. Anyways, a lot of the concept art is just that, and then it also includes those layers that I thought would be a good idea. So I sketched up an idea of having a setting sun, it would be a warm background, and the helmet would just be overlaid on top in a dark contrasting color. So this is what I sent over: my canvas option, my color palette, my wall option. The company immediately said they liked it, but they had to send it to Disney for approval, so then I just sat for a day or 2 and waited, but of course Disney approved it, and that's why we're here. They loved the canvas option, so that was really awesome for me, gave me no edits, and so they sent over the full creative brief and some paperwork for me to sign. Part of this project requires me sending behind the scenes footage, so I asked a lot of questions about that and whether they needed it, horizontal or vertical. I then realized that the size of canvas I had given them was incorrect because I was going off of a size of canvas I thought I had, and when I looked at this I saw the 36 number and I assumed it was 24 by 36. It is 36 by 48. So it is a little bit bigger, but I'm rolling with it. I still think this is something I can get done today. So then once I had these measurements, I took, you wanna go? Bye. So then once I had these measurements, I took them into Procreate and kind of laid out how much space each layer would take up. And then I primed this canvas with just a layer of house paint that I had lying around. As I said, this was all really quick. So the next day I did this like official authorization thing on TikTok to make sure that I could collaborate with this company. Then later that night, I sketched out my layers onto the canvas. I think you can see I have 7 layers and then this sun. And I haven't drawn the helmet on yet because once this is all painted, that's when I'm going to use my projector to trace the shapes of the helmet. Because the helmet's the focus, I want to make sure I get the shape exactly right. It's also Disney property and I'm allowed to use all their stuff, so I'm just making this easier for myself. Speaking of making things easier, I did something different with my paint that I've seen other artists do and I've always wanted to try, and that is buying 8-ounce paint samples from Home Depot. They're about $6 each and I have 9 different colors, so it actually came out to about $60. To me, that's pretty reasonable. I know in the past I've always tried to stress about working with what you already have, but that also was when I had more time, and this I think is worth my time. So later that night I put my digital image on my computer and then I looked at all the paint samples from Home Depot and tried to match the ones as best as I could. There was one layer that was giving me issues and I tried matching like 4 different colors and then the cart was freaking out on me, but I finally got it to complete and it was ready the next day by 8 a.m. This is my color palette starting from the top. This is going to be the sun, but these are all the background layers, and then this is the Mandalorian helmet, and this is the top layer, but it'll also overlay with a few of these as the clouds. Once I had this paint, I did this little color palette for myself, and then I also tested the colors on a tiny canvas. So this is my adorable teeny tiny Mando. Obviously I did not make the helmet look great. This is just a visual for me to see if I like it, and I do. So just imagine this later today will be there but bigger. I believe all of that brings us to today, 8:30 a.m. on a Friday. My canvas is ready to go. I'm going to be painting at a different location just because it's at a place where someone is moving, so there's nothing in the space. I can just take up a whole wall and it's a really great opportunity. So I've got this, got my whole tub of paint packed in here. We've got my paint and my projector, and I also have paint for a bike because the bike I'm painting is also at this place. Thinking I'll get there around 9:30 and I'm hoping I won't be painting past 3 o'clock, but we shall see. I'm going to eat some breakfast, pack up the last of my stuff, and then just head over and get painting. We gotta get this done. It is 3:40 and I started around 9:30, which means I've been painting for about 6 hours. But I'm very happy to say I did it. It's done. I really love how it came out. And I've cleaned up my space. That's all I've got in for me today. Tomorrow I'll start editing the behind the scenes footage. but I'm just super excited with it. A very unfortunate thing has occurred. The people from the marketing company, of course, checked in with me. They texted and they asked how it was going, and I said, it's great, I finished. And they said, cool. The company reached out to us and asked if you could edit it a little bit to just add more emphasis to the helmet. And I was like, really wish they could have said that before I started painting, but my solution is going to be outlining the helmet in black and adding some drawings in pen line work. And I'm gonna send that over on Monday and see what they think. The timeline has now been pushed back, hypothetically, if they want me to do these edits. I'm a little stressed because, again, I have like school and a life and work, and I was like very much scheduling this around all of that, so I asked them to just keep me updated as much as they could. The good thing is I know my bosses love Star Wars, so if I need to take a day to do this, they will for sure let me. That's a luxury I know I have, but yeah, cool. You know, right now I am taking my dad's phone and turning on the flashlight and airdropping the photos onto my computer. And it's not the photos. My brain isn't even on anymore. I'm trying to airdrop the behind the scenes footage I took so I can still send that over. It's been about a week since I last talked to you, and I know I gave you an update on what the influencer marketing company told me on Friday about making a new design, but I want to go a little bit more into that today because I am going to be updating it. They really stressed that they wanted something unique to me and where I'm from. So for example, someone from California would paint palm trees. Do you think that's a good idea? Which is not the feedback I was expecting, but did cause me to get creative in how I could add a lot of details in a very minimal way. So my solution was to kind of do what I have done on this guitar in the past and do some doodles surrounded by line drawings. And with this, I could hide elements of the Mandalorian and also myself and surround it in drawings so that it's kind of like a hidden picture maze situation. It wouldn't totally stand out from far away, but it would have enough contrast between the black and the burgundy color of the helmet, but you could also see all the details when you go in really close. So that was my new idea. This conversation happened in the span of like 10 minutes. They said they loved it and asked if I could send a new mock-up on Monday. So over the weekend, this is what I came up with. I did hide elements of the Mandalorian in here, like his mudhorn insignia, his weapon. I have little baby Yoda down here, and I have some fighter pilots up here. And the rest is all kind of me. I literally added palm trees just so that it's there for whoever at Disney said that. And I just went off other elements that I draw from, like stars and planets and flowers. Those are things I really enjoy. I'm from the desert, so I threw in some cactus. And something that's not on here that I think I'm going to include is This Is the Way. I'm just gonna put it somewhere on the helmet. I mentioned I'm going to be using Posca markers for the outline, but I just wanted to tell you for the outline part, I'm using the 1.8 to 2.5 millimeter, and for the inside doodles, I'm using the 0.7 millimeter. I did a little test of all the marker sizes that I had, and I'm going to be using this one that's closer to my face and has more of a contrast between the widths. And I did this on the back of a school assignment. So yeah, that's what I'm going to be doing. I only have one of the thicker pen and I have two of the smaller ones, and I hope that's enough to get me through the whole canvas. In the video. Good news for me is the straight up outline of the helmet took 30 minutes, so I'm gonna get my iPad out so I have the reference photo of what I'm dealing with, and then I'm going to draw in my elements, and then I'll draw the maze around them. Annoyingly, the small pen I was using was pilling up and it wasn't looking good, so I had to switch to a thicker nib, and now that I've seen the logo, I just remembered that I should take this off before I continue filling. We're back at home. It's about 6:20 p.m. and I have just transferred all of my video footage onto my computer and I'm about to start editing. I know I told you guys I was also doing another project with bikes, so after I was done with the helmet canvas painting, I did some work on my bike, took a little break, ate some dinner, and now I'm ready to get going on the video editing process. I told them I would send everything on Friday, but I'm pretty sure they work on East Coast time, so I want to have it all prepared tonight so that I can just send it over. They send me emails at like 6 a.m. my time, so I want to send it over so that it's just ready for them in the morning. And I wrote myself a little to-do list on the back of this envelope. We have to edit the TikTok and then add all of the mandatory text that they want me to add in the beginning and the end. Then I upload it to the drive, edit the behind the scenes footage, upload that to the drive, choose what music I want, write my sample voiceover text, and then write a caption with all the hashtags that they want. I'll be honest, I'm crashing hard, so I am really trying to just get this done. It sounds awful that I'm doing like this dream project, and yet, I don't know, I just don't feel awesome. So I really hope I can get this done in about 3 hours. We're in for a night. I actually don't know how other people edit TikToks for brand deals because I assume they're gonna have edits and I'm gonna need to like easily access this file. So I'm actually editing it in iMovie. I am a little bit embarrassed to admit that, but you know what? I do not want to pay for an editing app, so if anyone wants to share one with me, I'll use it, but iMovie works just fine for me. I can add text just by overlaying it on top, and there's a lot of workarounds that I've done to make it work for me. So yeah, if you've ever wanted to know what editing software I use, it is iMovie, along with just in the TikTok app. I do that a lot of the time, but if it's one of those videos that's like 3 minutes long, I've just done a lot of cut and deleting in iMovie. I believe the fancy programs are nice, but you don't need to have them in order to make good things. Just crashed on me. I did have like over an hour of footage and this TikTok literally needs to be 15 to 60 seconds. Think it saved my data, Luna? Usually it does. I mean, the thing about using iMovie is I have had this happen to me multiple times. I don't want to jinx myself. This is a wooden door. I don't want to jinx myself, but it has saved my data every time. It just requires a lot of patience that I don't have all the time. This is it. Okay. The marketing company sent me some music that I could use in my video, so now that I've got it down to about 5 minutes, I'm gonna take a look through my options and see if we want to use any. I think we do, but you know. So epic. Wow, okay. I like that one. Okay, let's try strength. Let's see if iMovie takes an AIF file. Yes. Okay, so I think I have my clip down to where I want it. And now I just am going to kind of listen to the beats and delete clips as they don't fit with the tune. I'm actually going to copy and then paste this into a new file and edit it down because I probably want to post a TikTok later with more detail about the project and I want to be able to keep that. So that's a tip, always duplicate and edit, don't just do the one file. Yeah? Is that good advice? I love you. Thank you. So today is Tuesday, March 7th, and it is the day before I'm going to be posting this Mandalorian video on my TikTok and Instagram. I did end up getting everything put together Thursday night, and I sent over the content on Friday. I thought I would hear something on Monday, but I actually didn't hear back from the brand until this morning at 6 a.m. where they said they loved the video, but they just wanted me to switch out this 1-second clip, which that made me laugh because the part that they wanted me to take out was this section where I wrote pew pew. And I get it, that's fair. I don't think that's something that Star Wars like identifies with, but that's obviously like a Star Wars joke people make because the weapons they use go pew pew. Again, that wasn't on the mock-up, but it was something I felt in the moment, so I added it onto the canvas, and I had included a 1-second shot of this at the end of the TikTok. And this morning the email I got specifically said, the brand loves the video. They just want you to take out this part at 46 seconds where it says pew pew. And I can't believe that was like a professional email someone had to send to me. I switched it out, sent it back to them. I have more information to read on how to post this TikTok. I hopefully don't want to have to repost it, so I'm trying to follow all the rules. Something else that has happened is apparently Disney loved my behind the scenes footage so much they want to use it for their hero video. And at this point, I guess they don't know where they're going to use it or what they're going to use it for, but they're putting together a collage of videos from painters and muralists all over the world. And yours truly will be representing the United States of America. So that's something. Very vague on what that's about, but I am just overall pretty nervous at this point. So I'm going to sit here and put the videos in my drafts. And I'm also starting to edit a behind the scenes video because I'm not allowed to post for 4 hours after the post goes live, but I feel like the day after people are going to want to know more information. So I don't know. I do know. I'm excited. So it's been a full 6 months since this project completed, and I'm just getting around to editing the video and putting it all together. I want to get right into the recap of this project, what happened, how I felt, and everything in between. But first, I just want to tell you what's been going on in the meantime because it's so much. Right when I finished this canvas, the bike auction for the bicycle I painted started, and also my work just got really busy with events. My spring semester of my grad school classes closed out, so we had group projects, and then it just went right into summer. We had no break. It was very cruel, and I wasn't ready, and it was overwhelming. My Etsy store was going crazy because of the Eras tour. Literally, my sales quadrupled in the months of March and April in a way that I wasn't prepared for. I had to get new supplies very quickly. It was overwhelming. I was in one of my best friend's wedding up in Virginia. It was so much fun, very exhausting. But then also when I got back, I moved. So yeah, this is a new location because I moved where I'm living. But anyways, you're not here for that. Let's get into the recap. Unfortunately, after I posted my TikTok video, I did have to repost it. I was really nervous and felt like something was gonna go wrong, but I followed all their instructions to a T. So I had written my own caption, but when I sent it to them, they had some edits and they sent it back to me and they said, copy and paste this into the caption just as is to avoid spelling errors. And I wanted to make sure I did everything right, so I did exactly what they said. And unfortunately, when I posted it, they couldn't see the caption, and I don't know why. It just got flagged as like maybe spam because it was such a long caption that I just pasted. I have no idea how this technology works, so I had to delete it and do it again. And because they thought my video was flagged as spam, they wanted me to wait a day to post, so I had to like extend my anxiety about posting the video another day. And I didn't know what had happened, and my only hi Luna. The only solution I could think of was just typing out the caption myself and doing it extra carefully to make sure there were no spelling errors. And when I did that, the video posted and it was great. Then on the same day, I posted on Instagram, and I just left my socials alone because they didn't want me to post for 4 hours. So I just kind of put it up there and then was like, whew, I'm done. So without further ado, here is the video that was produced from this collaboration. Watch as I recreate the iconic Mandalorian helmet inspired by the Season 3 premiere, which is now streaming on Disney+. The goal of this mural was to showcase the helmet while adding my own artistic spin, so I started off by layering my background colors to create this warm sun scene with clouds and place the helmet shapes directly on top. Now, I'm a huge Mandalorian fan, so I watched the Season 3 premiere the night it came out, and I will say if you're here for Grogu content, Episode 1 delivers. In order to add some personality to the helmet, I went in with a black paint marker and added line drawings unique to me, where where I'm from, and also more specific Mando things like the saying, "This is the way," his mudhorn insignia, and of course Grogu. Once all of these elements were together, I surrounded them in a maze of lines to create something that was subtle from afar but detailed up close. I'm so grateful to have gotten the opportunity to work on something like this, and now that I'm done painting, I can catch up on the latest episode that dropped. And remember, you can watch along with me by streaming Season 3 of The Mandalorian only on Disney+. Bye! I think it's a really cool video. I'm obviously really proud of it because I did all of it, but unfortunately I don't think it got as many views as this company and Disney were hoping, because part of why they wanted to collab with me was because I had like 70,000 followers on TikTok, but the view only got like 2,000 views within the first week that it was up, and I don't even remember what it's at now, but this is going to be what the video has for views after 6 months of posting, which, you know, the bike video that I posted, I think a week or so later got this many views. And it's interesting because obviously the brand chose me because of my voice and what I can do and how I explain things, but they still kind of control what I could say, how I said it, and all of that. So I think there still needs to be some understanding in expectations of brand deals within like personalities on the internet. I don't know. I'm very grateful for the experience, but I just think I've learned a few things along the way. And for instance, the behind the scenes videos that I wanted to create got this many views and a lot more people interacted with it. And I think it was just because it was more casual and sounded like it was coming from a real person and not like a person who's been edited. So after I posted the videos online, that was kind of my last interactions with the people at the marketing company Open Influence. They did post my video onto their platform, which was really cool. And then eventually Disney Plus did include me in that worldwide video campaign they had. So here's a clip of that. The link to the full video is below, but I'm in it for like 2 seconds, I think. I think the video is super cool, and the murals other people did are super big and detailed, and it just makes me curious on what the project was for them. There's a lot of murals in the Philippines, so I'm very curious too as to like how much they got paid and what their contracts were like. I don't know, I'm just a curious person. I mean, I had a contract and like a whole project, but I did like a little canvas, and these people did like full walls, so I just like want to know what the whole thing was like. Personally, I think the murals everyone else did are really awesome, and I'm like surprised that my canvas was included, but I think the project was good for what we made it, and I'm very proud of myself. Before I let you go, I do want to share my takeaway from the project, maybe what I would change for the future. And I think after every project I do, I would just always charge more next time. I think it's also just interesting in a collaboration because, you know, you sign a contract for certain deliverables, and then it's like, well, can you do more of this? Can you also post this? And it's like, I can, but it does take up more of my time. And again, I'm very grateful for the project, the opportunity, the experience, the exposure, all of it. But then it's also like, you know, I understand you're a big company, but I'm like a person who has other fulfillments that they need to do, and it just was stressful. I probably shouldn't have done it for my mental health, but I did it for the memories. So there's that. All in all, I had a wonderful time with my communications and contacts at the marketing company. I had a really fun time painting. I'm really proud of what I did, and I'm really happy with my canvas because I heard that a few murals in that video I showed you were already painted over, and the great thing about mine is it's a canvas and I can take it anywhere I want. I can't like replicate this image or sell it for profit, but I would give away the canvas as part of like a fundraiser or to give it to an actor from the show. Other than that, I think I'm just going to keep it, and it's actually up in my house still, so I'll show you where I've got it. Just moved into this house a few months ago, so when I was painting this, there was nothing in here, and now there's so much stuff that we're still trying to unpack, but I decided the best place would be up on the fireplace. It's a little off center now, but you can see the canvas size just fits the space really well, and I think the colors like are nice in this room, so we're going to keep it. Look at all this stuff we still have to unpack. Oh my god. Okay, anyways, the canvas looks great here, and I know you can't see all the detail from far away, but that's why I kind of really like it, because you have to get up close to see all the fun little designs that I put in here. In that pew pew, where is it? There she is. Pew pew. That's all I got for you for this video. I hope you enjoyed the experience. You know, no project is ever quite as it seems, and I think part about being an artist is just understanding how to work with it and work with other people and still create something that they like, that you enjoy, and that you feel good about. So I also decided I'd take back what I said earlier, and if someone makes me a really good offer on the canvas, I'll sell it to them, but I'm not gonna ever name a number. It's just if someone says it and I go, yeah, I'll do that, that's what I would sell it for. So tell your friends, tell your family, and tell Pedro Pascal.